Today it's time to drop back to a bit of Battlefield 4. As you can tell from the map in the background and the title of this video, it's going to be a Paracel Storm run in the attack boat. And I'm going to be running a loadout that consists of the cannons and the TV missile. The TV missile is insane in Battlefield 4. Anyone who's played the game, maybe you're still playing it now, maybe you put it down and picked up a newer Battlefield, but you'll know that the TV missile, despite a few of its bugs, is pretty awesome. Now I've got to take this jet ski over here to try and get myself an attack boat because the ones in base obviously got taken, so you can jump here at the start on Alpha and nick one as soon as the flag caps, and there we go, as soon as it spawns, drop in it and let's go and get some kills. So I don't really know what you guys really think of the attack boat in Battlefield 4. I thought it was always a load of fun to play. Jets can be a pain, the attack jets especially can be really difficult to take out, but everything else is usually quite decent to fight. Infantry, they can be annoying, but you can also blast them with the cannon, you get plenty of ammo. That was one of the major things with this attack boat, loads and loads of ammo, and thermal as well. That's just super powerful, and I'm sorry about that in the background of this video, but whenever I play in vehicles I tend to use thermal because it is so powerful. Zoom's okay, but thermal, really, that's the way to go. And I do like to play with loadouts that suit my playstyle. Though sometimes I will switch it up to something else. The TV missile, as this jet comes in to take us out, is perfect. It's absolutely amazing. And it's so refreshing to go back and play this game and just have some fun with that TV missile. Looking to get back-to-back TV missiles. And that's the problem, you often get yourself a dust with that missile. But really, you can't do anything about that. Even on good servers it'll happen. It's just one of the drawbacks, I think, of using the TV missile. Before we continue, a quick word from today's sponsor. Raid Shadow Legends is a very impressive RPG game available on mobile devices, and the best part, it's totally free. Almost 10 million players worldwide have already downloaded the game in just 6 months. Check out the amazing graphics and details on those champions, and in Raid you have the ability to personally customize and choose the artifacts and design a unique mastery build for each one of them. The great way to judge a game like this is to check out its reviews, more than 300,000 reviews in total, and Raid has an almost perfect score on the Play Store. The game is growing quickly, and the highly anticipated new Faction Wars feature is now live. Alongside that, you've also got the new reward program for new players, and you'll get a daily login reward for the first 90 days in the game. You can find me in-game under the username AKAArt. Go to the video description, click on the special links, and you will get 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player program to start your journey. So back to the gameplay. There are no dragons in Battlefield 4, but customization is definitely a thing, and that was a talking point that I wanted to bring out in this video. Customization in Battlefield 4 is, I'm not going to say massive, but it was pretty substantial in terms of weapon skins and vehicle skins. There was no character customization, but I think that was a good thing because you could work out who you were shooting before you got kind of close enough to see their weapons. You could work out what character model they were, and that really helped. Pilot outfits, for example, are very distinguishable. The snipers you can work out with the sort of hats that they wear, and you know what I mean if you've ever played the game. It's really nice to have that distinction between different characters, and you had it also in Battlefield 1. In Battlefield 5 you don't really have that anymore, and also with the loss of spotting, sometimes it can be difficult not only to see an enemy, but also to work out what class they are, which is a massive issue I think in Battlefield, which prides itself on this rock, paper, scissors sort of gameplay, where different classes are good at different things. In vehicles though, it doesn't really matter, you can have whatever you want. I think it's fine to have lots of customization, although in Battlefield 5 we don't really have that. Vehicle customization isn't a thing at the minute. Battlefield 5 does have some pretty nice customization though, I have to say. Some of the outfits and some of the weapon skins, although they're not really that great, the weapon skins, they are pretty nice. The big thing though that really holds me back from applauding DICE and saying good job is most of the good stuff is hidden behind microtransactions, company coins that were bigged up at the start of the game and everyone tried their hardest to earn. Don't really do much anymore. I know a lot of people are sitting on hundreds of thousands and they can't do anything with them. Myself, I've got about 50,000. I usually unlock things with them as soon as I can and get all of the skins and shortcut them that way. But boins are really the only way to get hold of the best customization options. I was thinking that maybe in the next game, DICE could look at having a sort of a season pass kind of thing, maybe a premium version of the game where you just get everything in one payment. I don't want to be paying £7 for one weapon skin or however much it is. That's too much money. I'm just not going to buy them. The Elites, I can kind of understand that because it is a lot of content that you're paying for, but just one skin? That's ridiculous. And in Battlefield 4 you get loads of skins just straight away, which is really quite cool. Vehicle customization isn't even in Battlefield 5 as well, as I'm talking about this. It's not in the game, and they did promise it would be there. So that's a massive shame. This cannon in the background does work against scout helicopters as well. It's not even the burst cannon, but it really does a lot of damage if they get close enough. And that's something I would suggest to anyone playing in the boats. If you're having trouble with air vehicles, just run the burst cannon, because it may not kill the air vehicles, but it will definitely deter them. It does so much damage. And this TV, bang, even against infantry, you're getting multi-kills, which is satisfying to say the least. The splash damage on this cannon is insane. Anyone who's been on the channel for a long time, you'll know that the way I'm playing this map at the minute, it's kind of a babysitting role, if that makes sense. So I'm going from flag to flag, just kind of keeping the flag under control, making sure that we've got a couple of points at all times, because as you can see, this team is kind of struggling to keep hold of flags, but we're also doing quite a good job at beating the enemies back. We've got a good point advantage. The enemies are throwing things at us, but we can do a pretty good job of just holding a couple of flags now. And Alpha here is an important one as well. In case I die, I also want to be able to get back and get the boat again. I've also got a couple of teammates on this map. One guy's in the stealth jet, Corsair. You probably know him quite well. Way back in the day when I had a few thousand subscribers, we were always doing videos together, and then, you know, he got busy with stuff, and we still play, but we don't really record as many videos. But I think if the next Battlefield game was more Battlefield 3 or 4, we'd be doing some more dual gameplay and things like that. Maybe we'll do another throwback to it in Battlefield 4. But there's definitely not going to be any of that in BF5 because my friends just don't play it as much, which is a real shame. The TV missile, bang on that scout helicopter. That's a triple. And the pilot, I don't think he saw it coming. It's fairly easy to dodge, actually, the TV missile in the scout helicopter. You've got that maneuverability. You can drop out of the sky and kind of juke to the side. It's very difficult to keep up with it. So, moving on now to a section of the video that is a little bit annoying to watch if you're a pilot of a helicopter, or maybe you're a tanker, or you drive, you know, vehicles around like the Lav or the boat or something like that. You're doing work like I am in the background, your TV and stuff, everything's good fun. The problem though is the guy sitting in the passenger seat. Now I can't exactly remember when it happened because I recorded this a week or so ago. I just decided to use this gameplay as a bit of footage to commentate over. Sort of like a rambling video, I suppose. But what happens in the background here is I get my vehicle stolen. It's really, really irritating in Battlefield 4. It's also irritating in Battlefield 5, even though DICE thought that wouldn't happen with the tanker classes. Sometimes it does, especially as you've got that really irritating animation system getting in and out. So here we go, I jump out really fast, start ripping the boat. Now either he steals it or somebody spawns on him and it spawns him in the driver's seat, and away he goes with it. So I jump in, I'm trying to work out what's going on, he's stolen it, so I'm thinking, can I repair him, can I repair him? The attack jet's still blasting down on him. I can't really do anything about it. I try my best to repair him, but the minute you stop moving in the attack boat, that's when you start to die. So I have to get another attack boat, and then I go on my way with my dusts and all of that stuff as well. A really annoying issue, I think, in Battlefield 4, and vehicle players will agree with me here. How you combat that, I'm not too sure. I think maybe locking vehicles to squads, or locking at least the driver's seat to squads, would be important in the next game. That's probably the only way around it. But everything else in Battlefield 4 with the vehicles should return. I don't think you should have in-house repairing. Animations can go, as far as I'm concerned. It's much more fun in Battlefield 4. It's much more competitive. Even in Battlefield 3, I think that was the peak for a lot of vehicle gameplay, especially ground vehicle gameplay. That TV smashed that guy in the face as well. Lots of enemies over there with the locks. And this is another thing. If you've got lots of lock-ons with you, and in the boats you often get disabled because of them, there's not a whole lot you can actually do. So repairing and having someone on the back like I've got to repair is pretty much essential, and I'm using that APS when I can just to protect him. Miss a pretty easy TV missile there, but what can you do? Sometimes You do miss if you're a bit rusty with the game like me. You can tell in the background that the game is starting to turn a bit and the Levelution's starting to drop. And I think the Levelution on Paracel Storm is one of the best in the game. It doesn't change that much. Yes, you can say it's kind of a weather Levelution, so you get the Levelution with the waves and the storm starts to come in and then the boat crashes into the island that you'll see in around 30 seconds or a minute or so. I think it's absolutely awesome. Is it like the sandstorm on Omen that essentially ruins the map, in my opinion? Is it like the tower on Shanghai that looks awesome? Trust me, it looks absolutely insane. I love it for that. But it's really quite damaging to the layout of the game. I don't know. I think Levelution definitely has a place in Battlefield. I'd love to see it return to some extent, but definitely not a crazy Levelution system like we've seen in some Battlefield 4 maps. This TV in the background, you may have seen that one on Twitter because I posted it the other day. I love those TVs where you kind of lose sight of the jet, but then you track the TV missile back in front of them, take it out. That's super satisfying to do. Really, really fun. I think the way DICE should approach it in the next game is looking at how a map can improve with Levelution. And that's quite tricky because I think there's only a few maps that really improve with Levelution in Battlefield 4. Zavod improves to some extent because the vehicles can no longer get through that central lane, so it's a better set of flags for the infantry. Saying that the vehicles can kind of squeeze through, but it's not that open lane that you see at the start of the round. Shanghai, I prefer it with the tower up. The tower falling down at the end of a round is really nice, but when it falls down kind of midway through or at the start of a round, if someone just goes and blows up all the pillars, that's not too great. Flood zone, it makes it pretty much useless for the LAVs, so you're stuck to the bridge. There's just a lot of maps where I feel like the Levelution doesn't do a lot of good. And maybe if DICE approached it so the Levelution was effective at making the map better, if that makes any sense. That would be a good approach. So hopefully you enjoyed this gameplay in the background, a bit of a rambling video from me. I'm going to do a few of these with Battlefield 4. If there's any topics you want me to cover, I'm going to tweet about this and maybe do a little community post as well to see if there's anything you want me to talk about or any vehicles you want me to play. I can do it. Live commentaries are fairly difficult on Battlefield 4 because finding an entire game that plays well and getting a kill streak isn't as easy as it might seem. I tend to get banned off a lot of servers with my friends. That still happens all the time. And then servers lag and things go wrong, and I'm also nowhere near as good as I used to be, so it takes a little bit of trying to get myself a streak like this. Hopefully you enjoyed it though. For anyone still playing Battlefield 4 and anyone who wants to see this Battlefield 4 content, leave a like down below. It's great to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
I spotted an enemy helicopter.